Who are the Patriot Front? This is a question that has been echoing in the minds of many, particularly in recent times. To begin, the Patriot Front is a white nationalist group that emerged from the remnants of the infamous Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, in August of 2017. This rally was not just another gathering, it was a congregation of various far-right groups, including white supremacists and neo-Nazis. The rally was marked by violent clashes that escalated rapidly, leading to the tragic death of a counter-protester. Some of these rally-goers, extremist Trump supporters, were later identified among those involved in the 2021 coup attempt at the U.S. Capitol. This event, seared by violence and catastrophe, constituted a significant turning point in the narrative of white nationalism in the United States. The Patriot Front was founded by Thomas Ryan Rousseau, who was just 18 years old at the time. Rousseau broke away from another white nationalist group, Vanguard America, following disagreements over leadership and ideology. The Patriot Front's ideology, rooted in a distorted interpretation of American identity and history, has been widely condemned and is considered a form of extremism. Voiceover. They subscribe to a twisted narrative that glorifies white supremacy and conveniently minimizes the contributions of non-white individuals to the American story. This skewed perspective is not just a belief system, it is a tool used to justify their goals and actions. They assert that they are defending the true American identity, which they argue has been diluted and misrepresented over the years. As an organization, the Patriot Front is highly secretive and operates with a militaristic structure. Members are often seen wearing uniform-like attire, which includes khaki pants and white shirts, along with face coverings to maintain anonymity. They use encrypted messaging apps to communicate and plan their activities, which often involve intimidation tactics and public demonstrations. One such demonstration was an attempted march on the U.S. Capitol in February of 2021. The group's members, dressed in their trademark uniforms and carrying shields and flags, were stopped by law enforcement before they could reach their destination. This event was one of the most public displays of the group's activities and brought the Patriot Front into the national spotlight. More recently, in June of 2022, 31 individuals believed to be affiliated with the Patriot Front were arrested near a pride parade in Idaho. They were charged with conspiracy to riot, and their arrest was largely seen as a victory for law enforcement in combating the rising tide of white nationalism. However, the aftermath has been somewhat perplexing. Despite the initial charges, none have actually been held accountable in court till date. This surprising lack of progress has led to speculations about potential involvement of government agencies in operating the Patriot Front, eliciting controversial debates about the true nature of this organization. Scene script. The recruitment process of the Patriot Front remains shrouded in mystery. Unlike other extremist organizations, the group does not accept applications or publicly announce its recruitment drives. This leaves everyone guessing, how do they choose their members? It's a riddle that continues to perplex both the public and law enforcement alike. Moreover, the Patriot Front lacks any clear connection to previous white supremacist or other extremist groups. This is unusual for such organizations, which often splinter from or merge with other groups. Yet the Patriot Front seems to have sprung up independently, only adding to enigma surrounding its origins and operations. Media coverage and public research have largely skirted around the question of how the group could grow so large and seemingly well-funded. A voiceover. As we delve deeper into the enigma that is the Patriot Front, a startling theory emerges. There is growing speculation that the Patriot Front exists and thrives only because of covert support from secretive government agencies, possibly even the FBI. The group's elusive nature, lack of clear connections to other extremist groups, and its sudden rise from obscurity raise a multitude of questions. How did the group grow so rapidly? Where does their substantial funding come from? Critics argue that the government's seeming inability to effectively counter the group's activities may indicate a level of complicity. Voiceover. If the speculations of government support are indeed true, one might wonder, what could be the possible motives behind it? One theory suggests that the fear created by extremist groups like the Patriot Front could provide a convenient excuse implementing more restrictive laws against political organizations. Moreover, this fear could also justify increased surveillance on the general public, all under the guise of national security. Yet another possible motive could be an attempt to decrease freedom of speech, under the pretext of preventing hate speech and extremist ideologies. The voiceover. Interestingly, those who endorse the theory of government support for the Patriot Front have often been accused of being white supremacists or extremists. These accusations come from a variety of sources, including political opponents and mainstream media outlets. The critics argue that endorsing such a theory is a veiled attempt to legitimize extremist ideologies and groups. Voiceover. The mysterious origins and activities of the Patriot Front seem to match a historical pattern of government agencies supporting extremist movements that are feared by the public. Take for example the fake Black Panther movement, which was a government operation designed to discredit the original Black Panther Party. Then there were the violent drug-using cults connected to the hippie movement, which allegedly supported by government agencies to discredit the peaceful protest movement. These examples show a pattern of government agencies supporting or creating extremist movements to manipulate public opinion and justify restrictive policies. Voiceover. Curiously, members of the Patriot Front began appearing in public internet forums just as these conspiracy theories began to spread. Many see this sudden visibility as a form of damage control, an attempt to prove conspiracy theorists wrong. The group's founder, Thomas Ryan Rousseau, was barely 18 when he founded the Patriot Front, an age that seems surprisingly young to be leading such an extremist group, leading some to suggest he was merely used as a front figure. Voiceover. One striking aspect of the Patriot Front's demonstrations is their seemingly expensive uniforms and equipment. The group's members are often seen in custom uniforms and driving custom-painted vans, a level of investment unusual for such organizations. This suggests an unusual fixation appearance aimed at creating a fearful impression of being organized and dangerous. The source of funding for these expensive items remains a mystery, further deepening the enigma surrounding the Patriot Front. So, knowing all this, are all the members of the Patriot Front simply actors? Are they just FBI operatives and other people hired or tricked to serve unknowingly, just to uphold the image of domestic extremist movements as an enemy we must fear? And if that is the case, then what does that mean for us? Simply that we must not believe the narrative that media feeds the public. They want us to fear the Patriot Front and accept new laws, new limitations of our freedoms. We must always be extra wary when there is a taboo against questioning the official narrative, even when this is done in the name of liberal values, against racism or violence. Learn from history. Look up the past proven examples of FBI-run extremist groups. Make your own conclusions. Refuse to be force-fed what you're supposed to think and feel from the same news sources that have been proven wrong so many times. Most importantly, when government tells us to fear something, don't believe them, fear the government instead. Because those who say others are going to take your freedom are the ones who will.